YouTube, today I would like to talk about how to hire a virtual assistant in 2024. Now, I think that this is so important. I get a lot of questions being asked on how you can actually hire your first virtual assistant. I was able to scale my business in 2023 to $1 million in revenue, and I really have to give probably 85% of all of my credit to my team that I was able to go out and actually hire. I utilize onlinejobs.ph. I know there's Fiverr and Upwork, but today I actually want to break down those steps and what I was able to do and hopefully help you wherever you're at in your journey. So if you're just now hiring a virtual assistant, if you're looking for tips to hire virtual assistants more effectively, if you're troubleshooting and figuring out, hey, I've had some issues with my virtual assistants in the past, I've had somebody else hire them, I'm going to be going from step A all the way through step Z, breaking down the concepts and the high level thoughts and how you're able to actually do this in practical business. Sorry, I don't have my tripod. I'm actually traveling right now, but nonetheless, I'm going to still record this video for you guys. And if you guys have questions, just drop them below. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Like I said, I'm going to really break down at a high level all the things that you need to have to hire a virtual assistant. And I will really just be talking through more of these concepts than showing you things, because I think that understanding what to do is more important than me showing you how to do it, at least at this stage, whether you are just now hiring a virtual assistant or looking to figure out more effective ways to train them. So I'm going to be going through, step A to step Z. So first off, a little bit about myself. My first virtual assistant that I actually went out and hired was from Pakistan, actually. And I was actually given that virtual assistant by one of my mentors. And it was my first experience. And if any of you all are where I was, I know that one of the most difficult things with virtual assistants is figuring out how to communicate, how to pay them, and also how to set clear expectations. And that was something I struggled with too. I'm not going to say that I was perfect at it when I first started. But one of the things that I noticed immediately when working with virtual assistants, and this is going to be a key for, you hiring virtual assistants now, is that having clear SOP, which means standard operating procedure, is the most important thing you can do when you have a virtual assistant. Here's why. You don't necessarily know all the experiences that that person has gone through. They're in a different country. You can't see them unless you have tracking systems, which I don't leverage, but I know some people do, for having them clock in and clock out. It becomes very difficult to understand what they're doing on a day-to-day. So it's on you to set clear expectations. And because you set these clear expectations, you can now know what they're doing and what they're not doing. And it's clear, hey, I told you to do these three things every single day, have them done by this time. If they're not complete, you can choose to either keep them or get rid of them, because it's only one of two things, right? Either they do not understand or you have not explained it clear enough, right? And honestly, if you've explained it clearly and they're just not executing, that just means they don't care. And then you have to make the decision if you want to continue to work with them. Now, the reason why I went through my first virtual assistant is because I realized that we weren't able to communicate consistently. I would ask him to get things done. He would take forever to text me back. He would tell me things were done and they were not done completely. And honestly, it left me a little scarred and a little nervous. But my mentor, a different mentor, had told me, hey, you go use online jobs, find a virtual assistant in the Philippines. And that's what I use. Nothing against virtual assistants in any other country. I'm not here to, say which is better, but I'm letting you all know what I use and what I would suggest based on what I know. All right, a few things to know about Filipino virtual assistants. Number one, Filipino virtual assistants are really good with the American culture, right? So they understand us and what we're going through, expectations. Now, if you are a Black or brown individual and you are hiring virtual assistants, they are actually very accepting of us. They love seeing entrepreneurs that are in the Black and brown community looking to grow, and they want to help us grow. Not to say, once again, if you're white or anything like that, that they're not going to be want to work with you, but I'm just letting you know from my experience and what I've realized. So if you're a startup entrepreneur, they are super, super, super excited to help you grow, right? And the reason being is because they're coming from a culture where working for Americans is actually like seen as a privilege, right? The average pay over there, right, is anywhere, between 10 and like 15-ish dollars per day sometimes, so you can come over and hire them for $2 to $3 an hour and they're making really good money. Now, that's number one. Number two is you can find individuals who can speak really, 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 really good English. Understand that English over there is a language that is prioritized. Um, if I'm not mistaken, they have like street signs and a lot of things that are written in English, right? It's a language over there, right? It's not like it's like, oh man, I gotta learn this thing called English and so I can speak it. It's like, no, people speak English, right? So you can find, call center reps. If you're a sales agent, you can find customer service representatives, and they speak very good English. So it's going to allow you, when you're going to scale your business, to understand that you can have these individuals working at the forefront of your business, right? You don't have to just have them, working in the back office or setting up automations or setting up and handling website development. While they do have a lot of individuals that are good at that, you can also have people on the front tier. So really, you can find these virtual assistants for any of your goals. And this is one of the main reasons why I love virtual assistants in the Philippines, because I was able to, once I left my first virtual assistant and we parted ways, my next virtual assistant was a website designer, right? And I was like, okay, cool. He spoke relatively good English. So the next person I went out to get was my social media manager, and she spoke relatively good English. And then we went out and got a copywriter, right? And then when we got the copywriter, she came in and spoke really good English, but then I noticed that she had a lot of different unique skills. And that would be the next thing I would say. When you have virtual assistants, understand that they are used to being freelancers. Okay. So what that means is that most of the times they have a variety skill set. They're not just coming in and saying, okay, cool, I only know how to do XYZ. A lot of them have worked a variety of different jobs. Now, how does that help you as a business owner? Well, if you're in the startup phase, or you're a solopreneur and you haven't really built a team, but you're looking to build a team, you can find one virtual assistant that can do a multitude of jobs, right? You don't realize how many things you can get done in 8 hours, right? Until you actually sit at the computer for 8 hours, turn your phone off, and just lock in as if it was a job. So imagine if that's what you had. So the reason why I say that is because a lot of these virtual assistants have variety of skill sets that will help you wherever you're at. They may be a social media manager, but may also know, how to design graphics, or how to do customer service, or how to have had sales experience, right? And this is one of the main components that helps you when you are in the beginning stages of your business, learning and figuring out how to scale. The next thing I would say is understand the platforms, right? So there's Fiverr, Upwork, and online jobs. I have a previous video where I kind of break down the differences between the three different type of virtual assistants that I always say to go after first, because of the generic experiences that they tend to have. But each platform is a little bit different, right? Fiverr and Upwork are a little bit more search engine heavy, right? You can do a job posting on Upwork, but on Upwork, they're going to have all virtual assistants. So South America, from South America, all the different countries in South America, to you'll have places in Europe, you'll have places in Africa, you'll have places in the Philippines, you'll have a variety of different areas, and obviously I know there's different countries within those areas, but you will have a larger pool of people. So that could be a pro and a con, depends however you want to go about it. I always tell people to try different, don't just go with what I said, try different things, right? This is just what works for me. And then you have online jobs, which is what I preach up and down. It's all over my social media. I'm talking about it here. And the reason being is it's only for the Philippines, right? So I can narrow down exactly the type of people I'm looking to hire specifically based on my previous experience. And I'm also able to do a job posting, which those other platforms do allow. I know Upwork allows it. So you can post a job and you can write exactly what you want. Now, one of the keys to the job posting, so let's stop for a second and talk about this. When you're using a job posting, the reason you're doing a job posting and not searching people out is because you want somebody who's able to read detailed instructions and follow them. It's not to just make your life easier so you don't have to search for people. It's to find the people that can read the job description and execute on what the job description says. It's not hard for anybody to put in a job application. We've all applied for jobs. Would you want to apply for the job if the job said, okay, at the interview, I need you to wear a black suit with a red tie if you're a man, and if you're a woman, I need you to wear a black dress with red shoes? Would you come to the interview without a black tie or a black suit? Or would you come to the interview without the red shoes? That is going to tell you a lot about the person that pays attention to details. Or are you going to say, I didn't even see that? If you're the business owner in America, would you want to hire that person? That is the psychology that I use on the front end to figure out what type of virtual assistant do I want, right? So I write in the job description, email me, subject line, blah, 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 blah. Customer service rep 3287. I'm being nitpicky like that because I need to find somebody who reads detailed instructions. You may say, oh, Trey, that's a little overboard, but I'm telling you, these are the small, intricate details that are going to avoid the hassle of having people that don't show up, that don't execute, don't get the job done. I'm only looking for the top, the best of the best. I only want the best of the best, right? You only need a handful of virtual assistants to really get this thing rolling, right? And then you may come in and outsource some American workers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. For me personally, I need to find what I like to call the Navy SEALs of virtual assistants. I want people that they come in, get the job done, get in, get out. That's all I care about, right? So that's how I hire. So that is the purpose of utilizing the job posting. It's not just to have a bunch of people apply and now you got to spend hours going through it. It's to find the exact people, right? I don't even want people to respond to me on the online jobs app. I want them to email me and I write that in there and I tell them exactly what needs to be in the email. If they do not have the credentials that are in the email, I'm not even reading it. Right when I click it, if the subject line doesn't have it, I'm not clicking it. If the subject line does have it, and inside of the subject line, it doesn't have the valuable information I'm looking for, it doesn't matter. Now you're going to ask, okay, well, when I get on this website, what do I post, right? I always tell people to utilize Chat GPT. It's a super useful tool to kind of speed up the process, but you need to figure out what do you want them to do? So how do I figure out what I want them to do, Trey? I got you. Cool. So an easy thing that I learned, right, is in your business right now, first step is you need to figure out, do you even need a virtual assistant? Because some people think they want it to make their life easier, but that's not always going to be the solution to help you grow, right? You need to have it when you have way too much on your shoulders. You're trying to scale, and I need somebody to come in and do these MWA, minimum wage activities, right? And bring somebody else in to utilize those. So you need to have, in a day, what is all the stuff you do? Write down every single thing you do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep that is required of your business. And even the things that you may not do, but you need to be doing, write them all down. Figure out the things that are the easiest. Once you figure out those things that are easiest, those are going to be the things that you can probably train people on. By easiest, I mean you like to do them. They're simple. It doesn't take you a lot of time. You're like, this is kind of effortless. Whether that's taking sales calls, whether that's sending out emails, whether that's designing a website, whatever you do in your business, right? Creating products, landing pages, etc. There's so many different components, right? Scheduling meetings, whatever. You'll have your virtual assistant do those tasks, which you've listed on that sheet, right? That are the easiest, simple, etc. All those are the ones that you can hire people for. You need to think of how long does it take you to do those tasks. It's the next thing you ask. So you write by each of them, okay, it takes me 20 minutes a day to do this, 3 minutes a day, and figure out how much time does it take. Once you get to 8 hours, you can hire one virtual assistant to do that job. You now take all those tasks, you come up with a creative headline for that position. So it could be, customer service manager. It could be website design and social media engagement. Right? So you come up with a very cool name. I think cool names are important because people want to feel valuable. Don't just say social media. That sounds very boring. And especially most of the times, the way that I'm showing you how to hire people, you want them to do multiple tasks, people that are able to accomplish multiple tasks, but you have to be able to train them. Once again, going back to SOPs. So you're going to post that on that, and you're going to come up right down to that job description. You're going to take all those things that you have to do. You're going to figure out, describe how those things need to be done in 1 to 2 sentences, 1 to 2. Right? Very simple. Once you write all that down, you're going to put all that information in the Chat GPT. You're going to tell it, hey, write me onlinejobs.ph job description for a Filipino worker that I'm going to pay X amount of money. How much do you pay them, Trey? Right? I like to do standard salary. I know people like to do hourly. So if you want to do hourly, you probably have to go find another video. For me, I do salary. Simple. You could do anywhere from $150 a week all the way up to $350 a week. I would say don't start with anything more between $150 and $200 for what you're trying to have them do per week. Now, a lot of people are going to say that's a lot of money. Yes, I want the Navy SEAL. I want the executor. I want somebody that's going to get the job done. Can you pay them for less? 100%. But I'm not trying to get you all to come into business to pay people super cheap to get really poor results and then to be right back here watching this video. I want you to find a virtual assistant. and get the ball rolling, and then you're good in the door. So I say 150 to 200 per week is a good place to start for these roles. If you have enough money, go 200 per week, you're going to get better applicants. If you have less money, go 150 per week, you're going to get a little bit less applicants. I wouldn't go anything lower than that. And you can go up to 350 if you're going to have them like designing websites, calling people, like, but make sure that you make it realistic. Once again, you have to figure out how much time it's going to take you to do, how much time it takes you right now to do those tasks. Remember that it's going to take them a little bit longer. So while it takes you 30 minutes to send out DMs, it's probably going to take them an hour and a half, right? So be realistic with how much they can get done in one day. Once you post that on online jobs, you're then going to let people, swarm it. Make sure you put valuable information in there, like, email me, subject line for only applicants, include your resume, include your previous work experience, an audio file introducing yourself. Like, find little creative things that you want to have in there, so that way okay, cool, I'm moving the needle. I'm finding people that are looking for the work, and they're actually able to fill out the information that I need them to fill out. Right. So next step in the process is you need to actually test your virtual assistant. So what that means is, after they respond to the email and you get your applicants, I say you get no less than 10 applicants, especially if it's your first virtual assistant. Honestly, I'd say get up to 16 people that you like. Send out those emails, right? Book them on your calendar. I would say 15 to 45-minute increment slots. Depending, if you don't have them doing a lot of work and it's very simple, you can rattle it off, go 15 minutes. If you want to do 45 minutes, go 45 minutes, depending on how much you want them to do and all the questions you want to ask. I'm not going to tell you the questions to ask, because if you've ever got a job, you know how to ask questions. And if you don't, you probably shouldn't be hiring a virtual assistant, because you should know somewhat relatively how to hire, or not how to hire, what questions are going to be necessary for you to ask them before they get on board. A previous work experience, bad experiences they've had, best experience, where they want to be in the next few years, etc. Once again, you use ChatGPT to figure that out. Type in interview questions for Filipino virtual assistants. And they'll probably give you 15 questions, right? And go from there. Now, on the interview, you're going to do what's called a test. This is probably my most valuable gift I can give to you, the test, right? So the test is going to be you asking them to perform what they would do on a day-to-day in a 5 to 10 minute increment on the video, on the interview, but in a realistic fashion. So that may be confusing. So let me break down exactly what I said. To perform what they're doing on the day-to-day. I hire virtual assistants based on individuals who can think conceptually, meaning that, can this person think without me being there, even with the SOP that I've given them, in the framework of creativity? Let's use an example. If I'm looking for a copywriter, right, somebody to write emails, send out blast text messages, talk to customer service, copywriter, customer service rep, whatever you want to call it, somebody that's going to communicate with my clients, whether it be email, text, or phone call. You could ask them a variety of different things. You could say, hey, okay, so for the next 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to do what's called a test. And on this test, I am going to ask you to write me an email and SMS message to my clients, okay? So that's the first thing. You're going to write an email and an SMS. You don't have to write the entire email. I just want to know, explain to me the concept behind the email. Here is what the email needs to be on. Here is what the text message needs to be on, and you're going to tell them what it is. Let's say it's, you are selling donuts at a discount. They were originally $50. Now they're $25. This is an exclusive discount that you can have for the next 2 weeks if you buy by day's end. And then you repeat everything I just said. Exclusive discount you can have if you buy this coupon by day's end. They'll have 2 weeks at their donuts being 50% off. So instead of $50, they're going to be $25. I need you to create an SMS message and an email message, or, the template of it, because I know you're not going to probably be able to do the entire thing in the next 5 to 10 minutes, right? And you tell them either the more that you add to the test, you make it 10 minutes. The less you add to the test, you make it 5. You turn your screen off. You turn your timer on 5 minutes. You tell them ready, set, go. You're going to have them regurgitate back to you at the end of the 5 minutes. I promise you, this is going to tell you exactly who you need to hire. The person that doesn't come up with something creative, get rid of them. The person that does not actually, ask way too many questions, get rid of them, right? Because remember, if you are hiring this person because you already have too much going on, this is the first thing I said. If you're hiring somebody because you have too much going on, you are not going to have time, and it's going to be a waste of your time to have to keep going back to re-explaining to them an assignment that you already gave them. I told you what I need you to do, an email and an SMS. Obviously, you'll have a whole SOP when they get, this is where you go, this is the username you use, etc. But you need to have people who can think on their feet and be creative. You don't want robots. You want people who are conceptual, right? Test, most valuable thing, right? Next thing is, where do you, so after that, you're going to figure out who you want to hire. You have your list of people, you're going to hire them. From there, where do you pay them? You can use PayPal. You can use Wise Bank. You can use Pioneer. I don't know how you say it. That's what I use. Be mindful, PayPal takes a lot of money from them. Once again, you're trying to build a business. So you want to have a relationship. I want my employees to get paid as much as they possibly can. It's just me. So I would stay away from PayPal. Once you start getting some revenue in your business, you move to either Wise or Pioneer. If you use Wise and you're using a credit card, it is going to do a cash advance more than likely. So certain banks aren't going to let you. I was using Wise for a while and I had to switch. So Pioneer is just like PayPal, but it doesn't take all the money out on their end. Still going to charge you a transaction fee, which is totally fine. But if you're okay with that, it's not that much, but obviously you're getting quality work done. From there, just set clear expectations of when you're going to pay them, and you should be off to the races. You can, replay this whole video. I would highly suggest you do. It's a lot of information. That's going to be the best way that you can consume everything that I just said. I don't need to show you my screen. Online jobs, Fiverr, Upwork, right? Create a test to figure out how you want to hire them, and what type of learner that they may be. Write down all the things that's going to take you in one day. Label them. Figure out how long it takes you. Remember, it's going to take them a little bit longer. Once you do all those things, you'll be ready to roll and ready to hire your virtual assistant going into 2024 and have a wonderful year. I think that this is so important for people. And a lot of people don't even know about virtual assistants. And the last thing I'll say is, who can utilize one? The individual that has a lot on their plate. They're already super busy and they need to find an effective way. I would beg to say probably everybody, even if you don't own a business, could probably utilize a virtual assistant in one way or another. I know people who literally have virtual assistants as tutors. You can have a virtual assistant. I play professional football. You could have them watch film and break stuff down there's so much stuff you could probably have them do. Get creative. Like I said, you're only paying them $150, $200 a week. If you are working a high-paying six-figure job or even just a six-figure job and you want to take some off your plate, you could do that. You could have them set up your schedule. You could have them be an admin for you, for your family. There's so many different things you can do. I don't plan on stop hiring virtual assistants anytime soon. Extremely beneficial, and you can write it off because they are freelancers and you're paying for a service. So I hope this video helped y'all. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, please drop them below. Like, comment, and please subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Help the kid out. I'm just trying to find different ways to provide value through my own experience. So if y'all need anything, let me know. And otherwise, y'all have a great rest of the day.